So my name is Gina Johar. I have held a variety of Chief Information Officer roles over the last decade or so of my career. More recently, I'm embarking on a transition to Infrastructure Ontario as their Senior Vice President of Data and Knowledge Management. I have spent actually the entirety of my career in the public sector, and I think so much of it is deep alignment with who I am as a person and this deep desire to make a positive contribution, whatever that size is, even the smallest of positive impact, to help shape improvement and to help shape a better experience, whether it's in healthcare, whether it's in the way that people interact with their cities and their communities. I've always had a tendency to gravitate towards roles where you're able to really bring that purpose, that passion, that vision for contribution to the forefront. So very early on, pre-career, I had the pleasure of studying in an area that's a bit less traditional when it comes to technology. And I took some time to study community development. And it's not a common course of study as you also pursue data, technology, leadership. But I find that my roots actually began even before that, but really I was able to walk away with far more tools and structures and a better appreciation for inclusion versus exclusion. How to identify that? What are the tools? What are the strategies? More important, how do you create safe spaces where you can have not just the conversations, but you can start to build solutions together specific to what it would take for digital transformation to also encompass those same principles and values. Because when we think about the work that we want to do, we want it to encompass everyone. Right? And I think that's what's inherent within inclusivity and in the equity space. At the same time, it also requires us to be compassionate leaders and really ensure that we are able to advocate and we're able to, through that advocacy, find solutions, or sometimes even their stopgaps, right? To be able to act on behalf of those who oftentimes are vulnerable. So I feel that it's a really important piece of work. I've done my very best to bring it into the places and spaces that I've had the opportunity to be a part of. And at the same time, I think there's a lot of opportunity to improve in that realm. Accessibility is an area that in my most recent role, I have had much more exposure to in a different way, in a very technical way. But having spent quite a long portion of my career in healthcare, its core principle and fundamental value is access, whether it's physical, whether it's digital, and there are different ways through which I've been able to shape that. A lot of it has also been co-design, bringing patients, bringing citizens to the table, especially tables where we assume that they may not be able to dialogue when it comes to technology and data. And I've always been surprised and always been humbled. I think people, citizens, patients, irrespective of what we want to call society as a whole, they have a lot to say and a lot of depth and richness in the expectations, the leadership that they can bring, and the problems that we still have ahead of us, and how to translate those into opportunities and into the steps that we can take together. Access, it can mean digital access through portals, technology. It can mean physical access as well into the different places and spaces, sometimes where technology and data also makes a difference. What AI has done is it's actually allowed us to have the really important conversations, as well as focused priorities that I don't think some organizations have had a chance to really spend time to build out. what that includes is like the importance of a digital roadmap, the importance of having a data and a measurement strategy as a precursor and as complementary to then being able to take a deeper dive into AI. So I think from an artificial intelligence perspective, that's what's really key and important. It's not a separate or a unique capability that we are looking to incorporate. It's an extension. It's an extension of data management, data governance, analytics, digital transformation. And so what it has done is it's brought all of these other domains within that ecosystem to the forefront. And we've had an opportunity to, I think, start to co-design and shape things like what is the relationship between a larger strategy and the digital or technology roadmap? How do we come around making decisions around data? What are the values and principles that are really important to ensuring equity, bias are managed the best way that we can manage? And how do we bring people along those journeys with us? So I think that AI has been remarkable because it's just brought the whole domain of digital at the forefront. And I also feel that it's really, when done well, it is around people, it's about relationships and decision making, the technology stack without a doubt, and it's a big part of your data journey. So it's been, I would say in my career, humbly speaking, it's probably the most exciting time simply because it's been an accelerator for really important work that in some cases should have been done a long time ago, and in other cases we've seen organizations and sectors do really well. I always say fear and skepticism about AI is a symptom of other fears. And so it becomes really important to listen, pay close attention, and really strategize on what are the root causes of that fear. Is it perhaps working on technology initiatives in isolation from the rest of the organization and stakeholders? Is it rooted in perhaps not having a strong education program around digital, around data? Is it rooted in perhaps there not being strong relationships across different parts of the organization? So my observation has always been pay really close attention to fears grounded in AI, because I'm fairly confident that behind those fears, there's actually more to it than meets the eye. So it's probably a symptom of more. Education is without a doubt going to be key. And I think the notion that AI is bringing is like, this is a team sport. It is no longer the norm for one department to who's more technically inclined to take on this type of work. It is going to require business leaders and social leaders to be at the forefront, right beside and maybe even in front of technology leaders to be able to shape the value that we do want to bring out of these great technologies.